Hey beauty, welcome back to Clueless but Trying, where we are recovering, rebelling and raising merry hell.
This is what I always dreamed about. I'm over being scared, let them talk and let us.
Does everybody know Jason? What is going on with my hair today? It's doing its own thing. Today I am giving you 5 things you need to know about home education in the UK. This is not an in-depth, this is a personal experience. 5 things you need to know. At this time in the UK, you do not need permission from the authorities to home educate your own child. However, there is a welfare bill going through at the moment, which the home education and, well, all parents should be slightly worried about because it will take away some rights. I can go into that another time if you'd like to know more. Home education, it's actually quite straightforward. It doesn't necessarily mean that the schools make it so. However, the legal side of it, and what I did personally, was you can download a deregistration letter. I will pop a link in the description to the one that I use personally. It's a copy paste type thing, and you write in your own information just to say that as of such and such date, you require said school to take your child named so and so off of their roll, and that you intend to fully home educate them, and that you will, be in touch with the local authority. The school then should being the operative word, let the local authority know that you have taken your child off of their roll, and then the local authority will be in contact with you. Now, I was quite lucky because I did this when my youngest had only just started secondary school. The school did, in fact, just off-roll her, and then I heard from the local authority about 2 weeks later, I think it was, I had my first point of contact with them. So when we talk about the local authority, it takes me to point 2. The local authority like to, for want of a better word, stick their nose in. Now, I'm actually really open to sharing what I'm doing with my kids. I have no issue with sharing it. However, you do need to be aware that they will ask for far more than they're legally being the operative word, entitled to. They will try and make out like you absolutely have to do the curriculum and things like that. And the main problem is that they will try and do a home visit. Now, as a family who has school trauma, I absolutely did not want a home visit. So when the local authority got in contact with me first, they asked to do a home visit. And I kind of naively said, yeah, that's lovely, no problem. And then I thought, actually, my son isn't going to cope with this well. Actually, I don't think my daughter's going to cope with this well. And thirdly, I'm not going to cope with this well because I am at that point so deeply traumatized by authority figures in the education system that even though they're maybe not part of the school we're coming from, I still don't really want them in my house because this is my sacred space, right? So I literally emailed them back and said, listen, I don't think this is going to work, but I'm more than happy to just fill out the forms that you send me and explain what I'm doing and my thoughts going forward for the education of my kids, etc. And thankfully they were really happy with that. That was fine, no problem. So I've done 2 home ed reports now. We're on year 3 of home ed in my youngest now, and I've sent in 2 reports to the LA. You can put as much in them as you want over the top of what is needed. So they want to see basically proof of consistent learning, that your children are moving forward. But, and this is point number 3, you do not need to follow the national curriculum. Okay, the national curriculum is great and I'm all for it, and I do absolutely pick and choose different bits from it that I feel are relevant to how we're learning at the time. However, you do not need to follow that. That's just for schools. And also it depends on whether you want to go for GCSEs or if you have a much more hands-on kid. I definitely have a more hands-on kid who is academically very, very able. However, she much more enjoys arty-farty, and that's me. You do not have to follow exactly what they're telling you to or what you have been taught is acceptable. It's a real paradigm shift, and I found it hard to start with, and we started with doing a online course. We had like tutors online that we could talk to and everything, and that went well to start with. And then it became very apparent that my ADHD really wasn't engaging and learning, because the thought of sitting with a textbook just turned their brain off. So after year one, I started realizing I'd learned through that year that there were many different ways that we could learn. Different ways online. There's things like OutSchool, which are fantastic. Twinkle is always good up to a certain age. EdPlace, there's many. But what I'm trying to say is that what home education gives you is a chance to allow freedom for learning in what your children enjoy, excel. And I do something what I call stealth learning. Maybe I should trademark it now. Stealth learning is I'm teaching maths, science, geography, English and the likes without her really knowing. So we're not doing textbook stuff necessarily. However, she's been learning about all sorts. And then anything that she's interested in, we go with. Last year, she got really into marine biology and sharks. So we did projects on sharks. We have an ongoing thing where she's into like mask making and video editing. So we go down those. And in general, we're a family that question everything. So I think that helps. If you're an inquisitive person, it can really help to just, if they have a question, you dive down Google with them. We have this whole encyclopedia online at our fingertips where we can follow deep on down into what we want to know. And I've also found it really fun to be like, I don't know the answer to that. Let's go and do that together. Because then we're learning together and it's more fun and she doesn't realise she's learning. I think along the way, we've also lost the fact that education isn't just academics in school. Over the weekend, we were watching Grease. And the bit where this car is automatic, systematic. Yeah, they're in a shop in America. They're in like metal school, if you like. Yeah, they're learning about cars. We don't do that anymore, really, do we? Not unless you go to college once they're at college age. But actually, what about all the people that are great with their hands and great in trades? They aren't necessarily the ones that are going to excel in, double science. But it doesn't mean they're stupid. So being at home education, I can play to the strengths. We can big up the weaknesses in the sense of we don't make them a big deal. We just continuously work on them in little varying proportions. And we're still keeping up with where she's expected to be for her age. It's very freeing. And then number 5 is going to be, there's a whole community out there waiting for you. The home ed community is, for obvious reasons, unfortunately, growing dramatically in the UK and all over the world. And I have met the most fantastic parents that are home ed-ing their kids. I've got families that are on the other side of the world in Australia, families that travel around and educate their kids. Many, like me, that have been forced into home education because the system just can't meet need. The home education community is really, really opening, really welcoming, brilliant fonts of knowledge. Everybody there, I was completely and utterly accepted in. There's many in your area. If you go on Facebook, again, I'm a big proponent for using the Facebook groups. They've massively helped me. I'm in several for my area, and some that are just UK specific as well, and just to make friends and see what other people are doing and share in the joys of what you are actually learning with your children. There are many different reasons people are home educating. Unfortunately, there does seem to be an influx of neurodivergent kids that need it, and we all get it. So you will find a wonderful community of thousands of parents in the UK, and goodness knows how many around the world. And we're all just trying to do the best for our kids. And I think that's what really shows in the home education community, is that we actually just want to do what's right for our kids because we love them, funnily enough. Yeah, so those are 5 things that I think you need to know about home education in the UK to get you started. And I will deep dive into more of the legalities and everything of it soon. Thanks for being here. Please press like and subscribe. It means the world to me. You are helping me so much and reaching other parents. Yeah, I'll see you soon. Bye.
Time's up. Go and sell 'em all.
Where's my clicker? I've lost it. I'll just have to press this.